want you to do is take your gross pay minus the taxes that come out. That's your after-tax income. 50% of that should be the limit of what you spend on the must-haves. What are must-haves? This is the stuff that you can't put off without serious consequences. So if you think about an expense and think, well, I really wouldn't like to do without that, but I guess I could, then it's not a must-have. A must-have is where something bad will happen if you don't pay it. So it typically is your rent or your mortgage, utilities, transportation, childcare, insurance, minimum loan payments. The most important thing to keep in mind is that many people have trouble keeping the must-haves to 50%, and that's where so many people run into real problems. I hear all the time from people saying, you know what, we never eat out, I haven't bought new clothes in a year, we still can't make ends meet. And what's happened is the must-haves are eating up too much of the income. It's a serious problem because, you saw what was on the must-have list. It's things like, where you live and what you drive. It's not easy to change those things. So the idea that you can just cut out a few lattes and make your budget balance, well, if you're lucky, yeah, maybe you can. A lot of people have overspent on the basics. And so they wind up in a situation where they just can't make ends meet. So if that's your situation, if you're constantly wondering why you're out of money, look at those must-haves, see if they're at the 50% mark. Then you have 30% for the fun stuff. Wants are things that you can put off. This is vacations, clothes, and eating out, and gifts, and all that good stuff. That's 30%. Okay, a lot of questions come up about the savings and debt part. And this is important to remember. Your minimum loan payments, what you're required to pay by the credit card or your minimum mortgage or whatever it is, that's under the must-haves because you're contractually obligated to make those payments. Extra payments on your debt belong in the 20% for savings and debt. But you also need to be saving for other things. Retirement, emergency fund. Why would you do this to yourself? Because this gives you the flexibility to actually live your life. What I see too often are people who are paying off their past so they don't have time to enjoy their present. That's what credit card debt is all about. You are chained to what you've done in the past. You can't enjoy your present. You can't save for the future. This budget makes sure that you are covering all those grounds. That you're having some fun today, because that's really important. We're not on this earth for that long. You gotta have some fun. You gotta enjoy your life. But you also don't want to be in a situation where you've enjoyed your life and now you're 80 and on the street. We do have to balance these things. This budget gives you flexibility. It gives you that balance. You know what you can afford.